Thank you for tuning in to the Soul Sister Sundays with Coach TK's podcast on these internet streets, giving you nothing but the facts about health, fitness, inspiration, and motivation for women, young and middle-aged, and of course, our golden years. We believe in motivating women to go from the couch to the asphalt and being able to run a 5K, which is 3.1 miles, in less than 2 months. This podcast was started as a way to inspire and motivate women to feel confident and look good while trying to get fit and get that sexy back. I know that so many women want to get started but have doubts about their capabilities. Guess what, ladies? I started in my 30s on this running journey. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, let's go! Hello, Soul Sisters. I hope everyone is doing great on this beautiful day. It is Soul Sister Sundays with Coach TK, and I wanted to bring you some good information to get you started for your week. We are merging into a new month on Wednesday, and that's when our challenge for the month of August will begin. In order to get you started, you must download our free, and I do mean free, 99 ebook, okay? It is packed with over 25 pages of content that will get you started on your journey. Did I just say it was free? Yes, I did. So if you want to be a part of an awesome group of women like yourself, then I want you to go ahead over to my website, or better yet, click the links below and you will be able to sign up for your free challenge. It's that easy. So don't procrastinate, ladies. Let's go ahead and get started with our fitness. Now, I've got a segment that we've introduced last week called What's the Word in Health this week? So let's go ahead and get started with What's the Word in Health? Well, researchers at York University's Faculty of Health have found that patients who have a metabolic healthy obesity, but no other metabolic risk factors, do not have an increased rate of mortality. The study followed 54,089 men and women from 5 cohort studies who were categorized as having obesity alone or clustered with a metabolic factor, or evaluated glucose, blood pressure, or lipids alone, or clustered with obesity or another metabolic factor. Researchers looked at how many people within each group died as compared to those within the normal weight population with no metabolic risk factors. So what do you all think that these results are telling us? In other words, if you are obese, it doesn't mean that your mortality rate is going to increase. So based on this research, it seems to me that they're not implying that you are healthy by being fat, but that you are not healthy by being small either, or skinny either. The article continues to state that current weight management guidelines suggest that anyone with a BMI over 30 kilograms per square meters should lose weight. This implies that if you have obesity, even without any other risk factors, it makes you unhealthy. Researchers found that 1 out of 20 individuals with obesity had no other metabolic abnormalities. So again, if you want to look more into this, I will provide a link for this article. In other news, you remember growing up and your parents told you to eat all your veggies. I remember my mother used to cook rutabaga and Brussels sprouts. Ugh. I didn't like them then, and I sure don't like them now. However, I've added a plethora of other healthy fruits and vegetables, such as eggplant. Now, I didn't like eggplant back then, but I do now. I know how to cook it. I know how to make it taste good for my family, and they enjoy it too. I also eat beets. Again, I didn't like it back then, but I do now. I eat turnip greens, collards, scales, and other leafy vegetables every day. But I do know plenty of folks that don't like to eat fruit or veggies, and I'm wondering how their bowels are moving. Really, okay? Because you need that roughage in your gut. Well, according to this recent study, women who ate a high amount of fruits and vegetables each day may have a lower risk of breast cancer, especially of aggressive tumors, than those who ate fewer fruits and vegetables, according to a new study. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know my story, y'all. I've been a vegetarian for 5 years. As a matter of fact, this month in July made 5 years. Eating fruits and veggies isn't hard to incorporate into your daily meals. So I don't want to hear, oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. As a matter of fact, I've gotten one testimony from one of my friends that has given up meat on Meatless Mondays during July because she knew that this was my anniversary. And so I'm not going to call her name, but I do want to say, Miss J, I appreciate you for doing that for me, well, for yourself, more importantly. But she did this to, based on our friendship and support of each other. She knew how much that meant to me because I had been trying to get her to do this since the beginning of the year, okay? So this ain't nothing new to her in terms of me telling her about that. But I love you, girl. I appreciate you for taking that challenge for the month of July. This new study, led by researchers from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, stated that in their findings, cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli and yellow and orange vegetables had a particularly significant association with lower breast cancer risk. They found that women who ate more than 5.5 servings of fruits and vegetables each day had an 11% lower risk of breast cancer than those who ate 2.5 or fewer servings. And again, a serving is defined as 1 cup of raw leafy vegetables, half a cup of cooked or raw vegetables, or half a cup of chopped or cooked fruits. So eat your fruits and veggies, ladies. I have recipes on my Instagram page every week that you can use to your benefit. And there are also other pages that you can follow for great food tips as well. So, sisters, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification button so you don't miss a beat. If you want to reach out to me on all the information that I'm going to be stating throughout this podcast, all that information will be posted in the links so you can get in touch with me. And also, while we're talking, go ahead and join our Facebook challenge, which begins on, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. August 1st. It's going to be a great way to reset you for the next 30 days. And what better time than right now, okay? Not right now, but right now. Let me give you a list of all the benefits that you all are going to gain while participating in this 30-day challenge. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Because let me tell you about this challenge. So I want to, basically excite you guys with fruits, vegetables, grains, and running. Yes. And let me say this. I don't want you to feel pressured to do all of the things that I'm going to mention in my 30-day Get Your Sexy Back with Fruits, Veggies, and Running challenge. But I do want you to at least give it a try. Because as we go into the fall, in about 2 months or so, you need to be preparing your body for the fall season. Okay, so you want to do these things now because you always prepare at least 60 days ahead of the new season that's coming in. Yes, if you didn't already know, I am a scientist. That's my first hat that I wear as a chemist and biologist. I talk about this all the time, even with my students, and they love the talks that we have in class because a lot of my students are pre-nursing students. And so I tell them all the time, you're going to always have a job in the healthcare field as long as people are not taking care of themselves by moving through physical fitness or eating right. So let me go ahead and give you all a list of health benefits in running because that's my main forte for why I would like for you to get active through running. Now, again, as long as your pace is faster than a walking speed, you are a runner. You may call yourself a walker, which is a walker and a jogger at the same time. But let me give you all some benefits, some health benefits of running. Number 1, your joints. The muscles around those joints strengthen and take the pressure off the joints themselves. And did y'all know that this actually reduces the risk and also helps to treat osteoarthritis? I'm not trying to be old and using a cane, okay, in my 60s and 70s, all right? I plan to live a long, youthful life in terms of my spirit as I age, and I don't want to have joint problems. Muscles. Your muscles, this is number 2, strengthen, and they increase with running. They reduce joint pains. It lowers your blood pressure and improves all-around fitness. Your body shape changes too, and it could build that self-confidence that I mentioned about, getting your sexy back, ladies. Oh, yeah. Muscles will help to do that. Your muscle strength will help to do that. Number 3, your pancreas. If you didn't know, your pancreas actually makes insulin, which is responsible for regulating your blood sugar levels. Okay, you may hear people talk about diabetes. Well, regular exercise and fitness keeps you to a healthy weight by lowering your risk of developing type 2 diabetes by as much as 50%. Number 4, your blood vessels. A healthy circulation needs normal blood pressure. New blood vessels grow as muscles strengthen, and this reduces the pressure in the system. Bad cholesterol levels fall, and atherosclerosis, which is basically the narrowing of blood vessels, is prevented. Atherosclerosis. Okay, that's when your blood vessels narrow, and if they narrow, your blood flow isn't proper, which means you could have a stroke or a heart attack. It's kind of like your vessels are getting clogged up, and if they get clogged up, you have issues later, okay? And sometimes you don't notice it right away, but over a period of time with the clogging of your vessels, you can have issues. Number 5, your skin. Conditions such as psoriasis and eczema often flare up with high stress levels. The calming influence of running can help improve skin, and it boosts self-confidence, like I had mentioned to you before, which can often be low in sufferers of long-term skin conditions. So your skin can also give you that glow. Number 6, your bowels. I mentioned earlier about people who don't eat fruits and veggies on a regular basis because they don't like it. Well, you can halve your risk of bowel cancer by running regularly. Irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, symptoms are also relieved by easing constipation and bloating. And stress levels are often linked to IBS too, so running helps. And I had a student who used to get stressed out every time there was a test coming up. She would spaz out and walk out of class, stay in the bathroom forever, because she told me she had irritable bowel syndrome, but I think it was more to it than that. But, again, when you exercise, and particularly with the running, it helps to keep you going. I noticed whenever I would eat something, if I ate and then I took off for a run, I would have to go to the bathroom, because running, that jolting feeling that you do whenever you're moving, makes your food, your digestive system work a lot faster. And yeah. Number 7, ovaries. Women, we know our ovaries are very important, but women who have polycystic ovaries are often overweight, and their condition makes it harder to lose weight. Regular running can be a real boost physically and psychologically. Running can ease PMT for some women as well. Premenstrual syndrome too. Bones. Regular running helps to improve and maintain the density or strength of your bones, reducing your risk of developing osteoporosis. Number 9, your brain. These feel-good brain chemicals and hormones like your endorphins are released when you run, helping to ease stress and anxiety and treat depression. In addition, your risk of dementia and stroke falls as brain circulation is kept healthy. And guess what else is improved? Concentration, memory, motivation sharpens, and sleep improves too. Now, there was a story going around about a woman who began her fitness journey in her 50s, and she's like an 80-plus-year-old bodybuilder. Miss Ernestine, I forgot her last name, is Shepherd. Miss Ernestine Shepherd is thebomb.com. Check her out. Go Google her. I had the pleasure of meeting her several years ago when I started my running journey. And this woman is phenomenal. She looks great. She's got a banging body for an 80-plus-year-old woman, too, I might add. So it's never too late to start. Number 10, your eyes. Regular running helps prevent eye disease such as glaucoma, where the internal pressure of your eye increases, which can result in blindness. Okay, we don't need no blind folks walking around here, okay? So go ahead and get your little walk on, get your run on. You can reduce your risk of developing it by up to 25% by running. Number 11, your liver. Using running to help keep a healthy weight significantly reduces the risk of developing what's called a fatty liver, an increasingly common problem where fat builds up in liver cells is in most cases harmless, but is linked to heart disease and stroke. And it can be, become inflamed, and as a result leads to cirrhosis, and we don't want that to happen, okay? And I'll be giving you all some tips on things you can kind of do to kind of regulate some of these issues, some like herbal supplements that you can take. Number 12, your heart. Well, we know that should be like number 1. You can reduce your risk of heart disease by up to 35% with regular exercise. Of course, it will reduce your weight, your blood pressure, and bad cholesterols, okay? Your bad cholesterol levels. Now, your heart is a muscle, all right? It's an organ and a muscle, so you want to make sure that you exercise that constantly. Number 13, breast. There is up to a 20% reduction in the risk of developing breast cancer in regular runners. So if you have had breast cancer, then running regularly can reduce the risk of it reoccurring by as much as 40%. Your lungs. Of course, your lungs are very important. Running improves your lung capacity and strengthens your respiratory muscles. These are the muscles between your ribs and your diaphragm. Your lungs also become more efficient. But you know what, guys? I actually developed asthma, well, what we call exercise-induced asthma, as a result of running. But I've been able to modify that by cutting out dairy, okay? So, and I'll tell you all a little bit about that later on. The womb. This was the main reason why I started running. Endometrial cancer is the 4th most common cancer affecting women. By using running to keep you at a healthy weight, you can reduce your risk by possibly as much as 50%. A lot of times, so many women, once they hit like 40, they start having womb issues. We have endometrial cancer, ovarian cancer, any of your reproductive organs can develop cancer. And I've already had several girlfriends come down with cancer of their womb. And let me tell you, the sad part about this whole thing is if you give up just eating chicken, aka the barnyard pimp, okay, and even beef, which is a very bloody animal. When you kill the cow, it bleeds ferociously. Those 2 animals alone would be my top 2 animals. I would say cut out your diet immediately, because a lot of women are having to have hysterectomies, which means it takes away your right to give birth because you're taking out a woman's womb, okay? And so this is one of the top reasons why I wanted to do that, because I didn't want anything like that to happen to me. So, yes, your womb health is very important. And here's the last one. Now, all of you ladies, if you have a sexual appetite, let me tell y'all that your sexual organs will increase, okay? Your libido, your sex drive will increase when you run. So whether that's due to the improved body confidence, you're more relaxed, or those brain chemicals that are releasing those endorphins, it's a benefit that you can enjoy, okay? So those are my top 16 things that running can do to benefit you, and I can attest to many of those benefits. So again, if you want to take a look at this list, the link will be provided below. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how do I get started? How do I even get started with trying to eat right, trying to just move? Well, that's why I'm here. We all need motivation to get us back on track. Even I have to have a coach to keep me straight. It's harder to get started than it is to keep going. Now, I'm going to say that again for the people in the back, okay? And the people at the top that can't hear me. It's harder to get started than it is to keep going. Once you get started, you don't want to look back, particularly when you start seeing those results. Remember, last week I gave y'all my testimony as to how I got started. I mean, I didn't always like it. It wasn't always easy, but I stuck to it, and it became easier for me over that period of time. So let's talk about how to get started with eating more fruits and veggies, because that's the whole basis of this particular episode. Since the purpose of this new challenge group that I created called Kickin Asphalt with Soul, Get Sexy with Fruits, Veggies, and Running Challenge, I'm going to give y'all some tips on what you can do, okay? And I've been a vegetarian for the past 5 years, as I stated before. So let's go ahead and kind of tell you what you can do. I want you to live, ladies. I want y'all to live your best life. I'm adamant about my soul sisters coming on this journey with me because I'm sick and tired of seeing so many women look sick and tired. They look like they've been through hell and back. And all of these diagnoses that the doctors are giving you, like high blood pressure, obesity, high cholesterol, reproductive issues, body odors, it's because of the foods you're eating, or lack thereof, or lack of not eating the right stuff. So walk with me for a moment as I take you on this journey with me for the past 5 years. Now, when I got a health scare 7 years ago, that kind of jumped me into saying, look, get your ass together. But I started slow. See, ladies, if you think this is going to happen overnight, it's not. You've got to start slow. I started to eliminate dairy. Because, see, I went on a journey by trying to figure out what are the things that women need to eliminate to avoid PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndromes, endometriosis, having a hysterectomy. What can we do? One of the top things that kept coming up over and over and over was to eliminate dairy, chicken, and beef. Now, it was hard at first, guys. I'm serious. It was hard to give up chicken. I love chicken wings, drumsticks, the dark meat. I love all of that. I love ribs when I used to eat them. But when you get a health scare, you don't want to look back and say, okay, you know, sometimes we tend to get the health scare, but then we're scared to do the next step. So I started researching recipes. I went out and sought out women who were eating the way that I wanted to eat, the way that I wanted my family to eat. So here's the thing. You've got so many YouTube videos out there, including mine, that you can actually go on to see what you can do to get started with eating right. There are so many women that you can actually follow, and I'll just name a couple of them. One of my girlfriends is a straight vegan. She's been a vegan for 10 years. Shonda Canes. If you go onto Instagram and find her, Shonda Canes, you'll be able to figure out how to get on the right track. As a matter of fact, she was one of my sheroes. She was one of the ladies that got me started on just eating a clean way, a plant-based diet. Now, I slowly eliminated those animals, and I still kept fish in my diet. Now, as a scientist, I'm well aware of what they're doing to the oceans in terms of the water, and they're putting a lot of heavy metals in the water, which means the fish have no way of releasing it from their bodies. So they're getting the crap that's being going into the water. So that's one, I would say, animal that I would like to let go of, and that would be the fish, because that was something. Now, I haven't had, when I say meat, I have not had beef, turkey, pork, any of those animals that, you know, people tend to like. I have not had in 5 years. The fish is the only thing that I have had. So I guess you could say I'm a pescatarian more so than a vegetarian. But fish is not really hard to let go either. But that's one thing that I will say I'm working towards. So you've got Shonda Canes. You also have Chef Aki, Tierra Goes Green, Queen of Four. I mean, you have all these women who are doing the right thing. Then you have the Food Babe. Now, she does eat, I think, meat from time to time, but she also goes and does research on the food labels to see why you need to get rid of those items because they're not healthy. If you're going to eat meat, ladies, my recommendation is that they are organic based, because that's what's going to keep you on the right track in terms of eating meat if you have to have it. Make sure that it's not farm raised, but that they are given a peaceful environment, so to speak. Because if that animal was terrorized before its death, which 99.9% of the time they are, then you're taking in the terror that they actually took during their last moment. They're also injecting these animals with so many antibiotics. So that's another reason why I said, look at these girls. I mean, these young girls are walking around here with bodies like 20-year-old women. Okay, grown women. But they're only 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. So, ladies, the way you can incorporate these fruits and veggies, I'm going to tell you. Hold tight. Here's what you can do. In the morning, when you prepare your smoothies, add some greenery, okay? Add some greenery. Also, JJ, what is her name? Oh my gosh. She is the woman who had like the smoothies challenge where you drink smoothies for 10 days. I think it's JJ Smith. But she's another woman that you can follow as well, because she has you to go on a 10-day challenge of drinking nothing but smoothies, and she tells you the right way to do it. Okay, so that's another woman that you can actually follow. But if you go through and look at eating a smoothie for breakfast and then drink, of course, okay, here's what I do in the morning time. Let me just start from here. I always have water, 16 ounces of water, room temperature, with a little bit of lemon or lime. I drink that, and it kind of flushes my system for the day. It resets my digestive system, and I have to go to the bathroom probably within 30 minutes of drinking that room temperature based water. The other thing that you want to do is to have a smoothie, and the smoothie that I'm referring to is like a green smoothie of some sort. You don't have to have too much in it. You can have like bananas, kale, strawberries, pineapples, maybe with a scoop of protein powder, and take that. And that should fill you up until lunchtime. And then at lunch, you can have a big healthy salad. But remember, you have to be mindful of the type of salad that you are eating. Okay, so we're not talking about all these dressings on your salads and all this extra gook that you add to your salad, but a nice healthy plethora of greenery. And then your meal, of course, you can have snacks in between that. But then when you eat your dinner, incorporate 2 green vegetables, whether it's broccoli and kale, broccoli and collards. If you're going to eat corn, make sure it is organic corn, because corn has been genetically modified over the years, several decades. And if you're going to eat corn, that's the only way we do it in my house. My father-in-law is growing he has corn in his yard, so we eat that. So that's organic. If you know some people that have a corn garden, get with them. So those are the things that you can actually do just to start. But if you want to learn more about that, as I said before, join my challenge. Join my How to Get Your Sexy Back with Fruits, Veggies, and Running challenge, okay? And if you do all of those things, I'm telling you, ladies, over the next 30 days, your friend's going to be saying, watch out there now, okay? You don't want to wait. Why wait for tomorrow when the next second isn't promised? You want to go ahead and just jump start. It is a mental thing. You got to tell yourself positive thoughts all the time. So as I close out my show today, I want to send a virtual hug to each of you for just simply listening to me. This was not as easy to get started many years ago when I first got on this journey. But I want to thank you guys for just taking a chance to hear my perspective on what you can do to get back, get right. And just remember that just as you're doing this, you could also have other friends who are watching you, and they're going to learn from you as well. I'm sure they're wanting to do the same thing that you're doing. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Soul Sister Sundays with Coach TK's podcast every week. This is week 2. Continue to tune in every Sunday when we drop the best of the best on our show. I'm your host, Coach TK, and you've been listening to the Soul Sister Sundays podcast. Have a great week, everyone, and most of all, educate your mind, body, and soul with words and thoughts that will empower you. The library is free. You don't have to have money to go to the library. Malcolm X once said, education is your passport to your future. So, sisters, get up, get out, and get some knowledge. Learn something new every day. Be allergic to average. Be allergic to negativity. Elevate your vibe and don't let anyone lower your aura just because they aren't in the right space. Drink a gallon of spiritual water, raise your aura, dance like nobody is looking, enjoy life to the fullest, be you, love you, and don't give two shea butters what anybody thinks of you. Always continue to raise your vibe. Remember, you can, you will, you must. Go out there and make it happen, soul sisters. Love y'all to life. Peace.